What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar.
The rants of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we gonna keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready.
I feel like the Neanderthal.
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school.
Suicide attempts, how many tries does it take? They ain't ready. Alright, so we are back. Another episode of the What is TWS podcast.
Yes, sir.
As always, I am J. Flan, and across the table from me is my brother Rich Nerd, and we are the White Pants Society. Oh man, I hope at this point people get the idea of the White Pants Society, and it has nothing to do with white pants or white or any of that stuff. Like, I don't know. I wonder about that every once in a while. Y'all should.
You never know.
You never know. People don't talk to me. I don't have any friends other than Rich. But yeah, man, we're getting up there in the episodes. Don't know what this one is. I know we're getting close to 50, so we're gonna have to do something for 50. But not for 50, but for our 50th episode. But I don't know exactly where we are right now. We're recording a lot of episodes at the same time, so I'm not numbering them so that we can release them however we want to release them. This episode, we're going to try to get caught up. We've been away for a bit, and a lot is happening. The world is going crazy, and I know all of you are waiting to hear what we have to say about it because, you know, who wouldn't want my opinion?
Yeah, so this is going to be the playing catch-up episode.
We're going to play catch-up in this episode.
So a lot that's been happening, yeah.
I'm going to start it off with catching you guys up on what's going on with me. I am still in the midst of my struggles with Sprint, my cell phone carrier. I'm starting to feel like a dumbass. Like I'm really, because I don't even know anybody else on Sprint. I think like everybody else in my circle seems to have been smart enough to either have avoided them or have left them, and I'm the only one like still rocking with them.
And you can still get those same kind of deals.
And on other carriers, you know, I just been with Sprint for so long, and you know, and this is a part of my rebellious nature, like because I've been with them, and people keep telling me that they shitty. I'm like, nah, you know, I gotta rep my phone carrier, like you know, like it's the block I grew up on or something. Like, nah, I'm a rep Sprint. Sprint is alright. We gonna turn the corner. Y'all hating on us for no reason, but nah, I'm really getting sick of the stuff.
Sprint's like, we can do whatever. People gonna stay. They know who the diehards are.
So yeah, I got like 3 lines with them, and got the whole family on there. So I don't know. I did cop the S8. I did go, and I didn't even realize I was getting it on release date. Like I thought it was already out, and I actually pre-ordered it the day before it came. I could pre-order it on the 20th, and it was like you can come pick it up on the 21st. I bet. I didn't realize I was like picking it up on the day that it dropped. So
early adopter.
Yeah, I feel cool. I've never been this cool to have like the hot phone like immediately, you know. Every time I've stood in line for some phones, but they always been like phones nobody else gave a shit about. Like the Palm Pre and the
I had my Palm Pre early, and that was a dope device.
Yeah, but it was like nobody in line.
Yeah, no.
So I waited overnight. But yeah, Sprint is just, man, I'm so sick of the customer service, the bad customer service. I went to a Sprint store today because my wife is having major issues with her phone, and we paid for the insurance, the total equipment protection. So I expected to walk in there and be like, look, my phone doesn't work. It's got multiple issues, battery life, GPS, hard time receiving phone calls. I really expected for them to be like, all right, we just give you another
Swap
one.
It out.
Swap it out. Nothing. You know, and not to do. I was pretty much told to contact LG. They told me I need to go to the manufacturer of the phone and tell them it's a manufacturer's defect and have them replace my phone. Which I think is pure bullshit. I'm hoping that that's just that store, and I ran into an employee that didn't want to work that day, and I just need to go to another store and get somebody who cares about their job a little bit more, and that they'll take care of me. I'm hoping Sprint. But you know, I'm gonna murder y'all on these episodes until y'all get some act right, because I am not a happy customer. So I mean that was a weak rant, but that's what's going on with me. Other than that, the S8 is it's a pretty beautiful device. I can't say that I'm disappointed with it. I thought about the S8 or the G6. Me and Rich had a couple back and forths about it. The G6 to me definitely looked more like a phone. It had that like business sort of feel to it that I wanted. But at the end of the day, and it was way cheaper. But at the end of the day, I think the specs and the future proofing, the processor in the S8, just the look and feel of it, that swayed me. And MK, what is it?
MKBHD.
MKBHD. What is? I ain't gonna ask. But MKBHD, his review kind of swayed me, and a couple others kind of swayed me. So I'm an early adopter on the S8. I'll let y'all know how it goes. So now that I'm done,
I'm thinking about it. Trying to see if I can jump ship from Apple. I don't necessarily want to wait around to see what the new phone from Apple is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say that about this phone is that of all the phones I've ever had, like I think this phone, like when I see someone with an iPhone and like the way it operates and the way it kind of looks and feels, the thinness and the smoothness of the operation, like this is the first time I've had a phone where I feel like this rivals what I think I see when I see people with an iPhone. I don't think I've ever had a phone before that had this kind of sleekness to it and the smoothness of the operation.
It's a nice looking phone, and I think I always leave Android and go back to Apple because of the sleekness of the device, and I'm already I guess into the ecosystem. Although that's not even an excuse because I had the G1, the very first Android phone, and probably tons of flagships ever since. So I'm invested into both ecosystems. As soon as I go back to Android, every app that I've ever purchased is there. I use Android devices here and there as a backup device, so I've always had stuff to use. But damn, it really makes me want to switch. It's a good looking device. It's very thin, but the screen is huge. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but what else has been going on with you, Rich? Catch us up.
Not much. Right now, Renee is on the way home from Houston, so I'm just waiting for her to get back. They switched up her trips though, so she had to switch her. She took a bus instead of a plane because it was just faster, and switched it up last minute. And she's here talking to me now, and
What up, Kicks?
Not a lot of good things to say. Apparently. Every ratchet person in Texas is on that bus coming from Houston to Austin.
Hey. So, yeah. I mean, I would kind of expect that.
Yeah.
Hey, at least she ain't get on the Mexican Greyhound like I did.
Oh man. So everybody on the bus said, "Hey, just watch your back and watch your shit."
Yeah. Nothing against Mexicans though. Nothing against Mexicans. But
apparently the bus she's on too didn't have any like overhead, whatever. So it was only like check it under the bus. So you mean to tell me you got to run off the bus?
Get to your stuff.
Yeah,
fast.
to get your shit. Who doesn't have like overhead? I mean, at least they got a power box. It's a weird looking power box. But oh well.
Yeah, Renee, Kicks don't strike me as a bus kind of person.
She's not. She's not. She really wanted me. She wanted me to come back and pick her up. She doesn't do like buses. Yeah. And like I said, they changed everything, so she couldn't fly because it was last minute, and she would have had to get from where she was at to the hotel. I mean, to the airport, and then go all the way out and come all the way back in. It was just easier because they switched her travel plans at the last minute to fly. But for me to go pick her up, it would have been another 400 miles there and back. And that was a long drive. I dropped her off in Houston, and we left home at about 5:30 so we can beat Austin traffic, but got there just in time to hit Houston traffic. And they got damn near 8 lanes, so their traffic is worse than ours. Right. And GPS is like telling you to do one thing, but you don't know how Houston traffic works, so therefore it's telling you to turn left, but their left is really not a turn, but a veer. Then I just got used to Austin traffic because ours is shitty and having to deal with that. So we pulled up to her her place at about 8:30, 8:45 or something like that, just for me to stop, get some coffee, use the bathroom, and then turn around and come back. So I don't know if I had it in me to do that again. I spent about $50 in gas because I clock in good gas mileage with the Rogue, but I mean it's still an SUV.
Yeah.
200 miles is 200 miles. So I don't think I could have did that drive again, like right back to back. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I'd have had to actually leave here probably about like 1 something, maybe 2 to beat that weekend traffic. So I didn't have it in me. I will pick her up from the bus stop. But outside of that, nothing major going on. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do on my phone upgrade. And I've only been holding off for so long because I know they got the iPhone 7S, 7S Plus, and iPhone 8 coming out at the same time. So I'm like, that could be a birthday present, and that would be my excuse to spend that much money on a device because it's going to be coming out for my birthday. Or I can honestly just use my upgrade and go now because I need a phone. Her phone is cracked. She needs a phone. Why not?
Decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know. But let's see. What we sipping? I'm having Rich try out this Central Market organic Italian soda.
Lime coconut.
This is the lime coconut flavor.
It's a peculiar taste, but
you put the lime in the coconut and drink a bowl up.
It's kind of weird. It's like, but I'll drink it.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite flavors. I got the lemon. I had a little bit of the lemon left, but the lemon is like super lemon. Like this is like extra tart. But for some reason I like it. I guess I like citrus sodas. I like Squirt. I like Mountain Dew. I'm not a big fan of like Sprite and Sierra Mist and stuff like that, but I do like very tart citrusy sodas. All right, that's enough just random bullshit.
Yeah, so basically, like you said, we're gonna be playing catch up.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start off with this one. You can lead into the next one because the next one I don't think I know as much about it as you do. So this one, I read about this. I saw the video live a few weeks ago when I was at work. I think we spoke about this briefly. And I was just like, what in the fuck? This, what I'm referring to is the elementary school shooting in California, in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
This teacher's husband goes up to the school. They're asking like, what are you doing here? And they recognize him as her significant other, the teacher's significant other. He goes to the classroom to see the wife. I guess they got into an argument or whatever the case was before that. And while in her classroom, he draws a weapon, shoots and kills her, shoots and kills an 8-year-old child that was hiding behind her. It was 2. So he shot at her. 2 of the children were trying to hide behind her. One of the children he hit was an 8-year-old who he killed. The other child was a 9-year-old who was wounded. And was sent to the hospital, and then he also killed the wife.
Yeah.
Now, number one, what the fuck happens that you feel like you got to snap and go after your spouse? If shit is going down and you feel like, you don't want to be a part of a relationship, you can't take it, you better off just leaving. Like, don't go off the deep end doing all types of willy-nilly. I've had my heart broken. I've been through some shit. I've had my head messed with. My first thought is not like, let me go up to elementary school and pull out a gun. Fuck is wrong with these people? That's number one. Number two, who the fuck pulls out a gun in an elementary school? Right. With kids, it doesn't make any sense. And then you see the kids hiding behind her, you're going to open up fire anyway, and then you're going to shoot yourself. Like, it's the most retarded shit. Like, I have no sympathy, no remorse for this guy because his actions made no sense. And the third, to follow up on something that you said the other day, if you were going to kill yourself anyway,
exactly,
and that was going to be the end result, cut out the middleman. Right. Leave all of these other innocent people alone. You're in a headspace where you don't want to be here. A life is a life. We hate to lose a life. But at the same time, if you're going to take your life, take your life. Don't stupidly take the lives of other people as well. Especially children. Like, that doesn't make any damn sense.
Elementary school, an 8-year-old. And
8-year-old.
It scarred several kids for life, probably.
Those kids are going to be dealing with therapy sessions and bullshit for the rest of their lives.
PTSD.
That child's parents who lost his life and his family, they're going to be, oh man, it's I'm almost flabbergasted. I stammering over my words because it just doesn't make any sense. The callousness and the way that people just hold no regard over human life these days is it's beyond me. I don't understand how you can do something at an elementary school. I was watching the news report live at work, and I'm like, shooting at an elementary school, the fuck? And they just had a major shooting incident in California a few years ago. So it's like, I'm thinking it's another kid or something. Thank God it wasn't that, but shit, you got mad at your wife, so you just blowing people up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I'm not a proponent of suicide or anything, but if you reach that point, like something has happened that makes you give up on life. Just give up on your own life.
That's something you got to deal with within yourself. I hate that mentality. I'm taking you with me.
And I mean, if that's your wife, there was no other opportunity. Again, I don't want to make it seem like, all right, so you was going to kill yourself and your wife. Cool. Like now that, in the perfect scenario, we don't come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
But let's say you do come to the conclusion that you got to kill yourself and your wife. If she's your wife, there had to be some other opportunity to get to her.
You gotta wait till she's at work.
Then to go to the elementary school.
You can't do it over dinner.
And shoot her in front of some kids. Even if you had not hit any of the other kids, you gonna shoot your wife and yourself in front of some kids, in front of some little kids.
Them kids are scarred for life.
Kids messed up. I don't know. I just, and so I was looking at it while you were talking, looking at the story to try to, get some details on it. I was hoping that there was like something I could pin this on and blame it, but this dude was 53 years old. This wasn't
grown ass man.
This is a grown ass man. Like you've been through some stuff. You
been through heartache before.
You should be wise enough to know
at
this point. How to conduct yourself. Like this. Like we are just as a parent, it just frightens the shit out of me. Like the world is crazy. I don't know if the world has always been this crazy, and it's just this new era where we get news so fast and from so many different sources. Like we are aware. Like maybe we just weren't aware of all the shootings that were happening before, or if people have just gone crazy in the last couple years and shit is
something's going on, but something got to give. Like this shit is coming every week. It's rapid fire, more and more and more. And true, I credit it to the fact that more and more is made available. But I mean, we've had news outlets since the internet is not nothing new, but this shit it's getting crazy now.
Yeah, I like I said, I just don't get it. It makes me very sad. It makes me very sad. Rich. Like and we've just experienced such a loss of life recently. Like just people are deciding to commit suicide, taking other people with them on left and right, and it's we're killing over religion, we're killing over everything. You're heartbroken, you got to kill somebody. You don't agree with somebody's beliefs, you got to kill somebody. Like I don't know, I've never been a gun person. I never handled a weapon, never shot a weapon. I understand that there are people who are into guns recreationally, and they don't want their guns taken away. But something's like these weapons are ending up in hands of people who do horrific things with them. Like what? It got to be some sort of stopgap at some point. Like we got to find a way to put an end to some of this. And if the end game is less people can have weapons, I guess I'm okay with that. I'm okay with less people having access to weapons. Mm-hmm. If that means I don't have to wake up and hear about a man going into an elementary school shooting his wife and 2 kids. Like that, I'll take that trade because guns don't mean anything to me. Maybe they mean something to you, so I can understand why you feel differently.
Yeah, because the shit is crazy.
It's a crazy mad world, man.
So, in keeping with playing catch up, this next one, this is another one. Like it's like you read the headlines and it's like, what the hell is going on here? But then when you delve into the story,
the fuck,
this is just like the JPEG shit all over again.
So I hate to say like this is a little more lighthearted than the last one.
You know what? You know what it is?
What is it?
Mentally, me, like I feel like I am laughing to keep from crying because this is it's tragic and it's so emotionally gut-wrenching that if you don't try to take your mind off of it and find a slither of levity just for a minute in order to get through the story, It can definitely take you because it's once again dealing with the death of a child. I don't know if you want to go ahead and read this one, but I'm laughing to keep from crying because I'm the type of person where it would affect me emotionally and internally, and I can sort of see what the parent might be dealing with, and it's crazy.
Now, so I'll go into this one because this one bothers me on so many different levels, and so basically. There was an 11-year-old kid. Where does this happen? This happened in Michigan.
Yeah.
11-year-old kid who unfortunately just made the choice to commit suicide. His reason for committing suicide was that he believed his 13-year-old girlfriend had just done the same thing. His 13-year-old girlfriend was dead, and I guess that meant he wanted to die too.
He couldn't at that age. He could not see his life.
He couldn't see his life without this 13-year-old, and so now the mother and the police are going after the 13-year-old girl who this was apparently a prank on social media. She used a friend's phone and posted some messages about herself committing suicide, and that's how the little boy learned of her supposed death. And so the parent and the police are now, going after this girl. I guess making her somewhat liable for the 11-year-old's death. And it's a lot of this stuff bothers me about so one. Okay, I'm not trying to laugh, but I got a question. The mom that now wants to blame the 13-year-old, to me, is partly trying to deflect blame from herself.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to understand. I don't want to understand how an 11-year-old can hang themselves in their room, and nobody really be aware of what that. I mean, for all of this to have taken place, this kid had a lot of unsupervised time to be on the internet and having this social media relationship with this 13-year-old girl. A lot of this had to, it couldn't have happened if somebody was supervising an 11-year-old a little more closely.
Yeah, and even said, to your point, the mom didn't realize what was going on. She assumed he was up in his room watching TV or playing on his phone or doing something. But even with that, how much unsupervised time? You know what I mean? Like I never got that much unsupervised time. Like I'd be in my room on my phone. I can't even say my phone. Those days I didn't have a phone. Playing my video game or watching TV or doing whatever. But periodically, your parent walks in your room or they'll call you out of your room. Yeah. What you doing?
I wasn't. All right, go back. Yeah, I wasn't even really allowed to have my door closed.
That's not I had open door policy. That's what I'm saying. But and so they can walk in at any time, but then they can also call my black ass out at any time for status report. What you doing? All right, go back. Cool.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like, what are we doing? I feel like we're at this point where like people are super sensitive. Like I'm not trying to sound callous about this. Like this kid should have been able to take a heartbreak, but what's going on with an 11-year-old? Yeah. Like how deep of a relationship, could you have been in
at that age?
At that age, that you find out your girlfriend's dead,
that wouldn't have been my thing.
And you kill yourself. Like
I would have been, oh shit, this motherfucker just killed himself. Yo, Jared, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I might have been crying. I might have been sniffling. I might have been emotionally upset. Right. I would have been on the motherfucking phone, screaming, running around the house.
I might have ran downstairs to tell my mother.
Yeah, I would have been like something. I would have. My immediate reaction would be freak out, communicate with somebody, not kill myself too. And I'm the type of person knowing that anything can happen, anything can be out there. I might want to verify this shit. That's just me.
We live in an era of fake news.
I might want to verify this.
I might hit up the friend whose account this was coming through and be like, "Yo, what? So and so just committed suicide?" And
then you got to. First of all, why does this 11-year-old have a 13-year-old girlfriend? I just want to put that out there.
I was getting.
I want to judge. I had to just address that before.
There's so many missteps. There's so many things that built up to this that I feel like could have been prevented. And so now, like they're considering this cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And they're going after
they're charging
this
her
13-year-old.
What did it say? What is the charge?
Right, what's the
She's
exact
being
charge?
charged with telecommunication services, malicious use. So
using a computer to commit a crime. So now saying that you committed suicide on the internet is using a computer to commit a crime?
Yeah. If you know that it's going to emotionally impair the judgment of said person.
How do I can't.
It's the JPEG thing all over again.
I'm not in your head. I can't.
It's the
I
JPEG
don't know.
thing. She knew he was emotionally vulnerable. It's the JPEG thing all over again. When that man sent that dude that JPEG with them flashing lights, he knew he was going to cause a seizure and that man was going to fall out.
Hey, I'm saying, all right, so catfishers everywhere. Y'all need understand.
I gotta chill.
Y'all gotta chill. Because you are now liable for shit when it goes south.
It's 2017.
It's a 13-year-old girl.
People, I can't even say for the most part, some people are now being held liable for their actions. Obviously, not all of them, because black people dropping left and right by the hands of a white cop and nothing happening. But by law, people are being held for their actions. And
this is being held responsible for somebody else's actions in my mind. Like, once she's 13, so you can't tell me that she fully understood what this 11-year-old boy was going to do. I want to know at 13. She's 13.
I got a list of questions though. Why was he alone all that time by himself? Why do they both have video phones? Why is this 11-year-old dating a 13-year-old? What made this 13-year-old think that pranking her boyfriend on an extreme level was a good idea? And what gave her the idea to prank him on an extreme level and that thing be her committing suicide? And then she ropes people in for backup. So then this is like a group thing now. So does the friend, you know what I'm saying, get charged too because it came from the friend's phone?
Your friend let her use the phone.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so much shit.
But then we have Manti Te'o who had who did, I don't know if they ever determined whether that was catfishing or not, but he had a girlfriend he had never met that like died of leukemia or some shit, like, and then he started donating money and being like this big cancer cure for cancer dude or something like. So if they ever find that person, are they now liable for all the good things that Manti Te'o did because he thought he had a girlfriend that died of cancer? Like, I don't know. But this is a 13-year-old. The same way the 11-year-old didn't have the maturity to understand
the mental capacity
to understand the situation he was in, and that there were a million other options other than taking your life. There's no way that this 13-year-old understood that me making this prank and saying I'm gonna kill myself or I killed myself is gonna cause this irreparable damage to another human being. It's not possible. It's not. 13. That's all. I mean, that's all you have to tell me. I don't care what ethnicity the girl was. 13. You don't have that kind of decision making prowess.
What did she expect from this prank?
Probably not. She might have thought. I can imagine at 13.
I'm not saying that she had. I'm not trying to allude to the fact that she thought like he was going to kill himself. But what was the end result? Like, what do you think he was going to like? You got me.
Maybe she's a bad breaker upper, Rich, and she didn't know no other way to get out the relationship. Maybe he was clingy, Rich. Maybe he's that sensitive that every time she tried to break up with him, he cried or some shit, and she couldn't get out the relationship.
Maybe if I'm dead, he'll move on.
I'm a fucking dead.
This shit is crazy.
This is absolutely crazy. I'm sorry the little kid committed suicide, but we got to start teaching.
I need more facts to formulate a real opinion,
and we can't pass this blame off.
And that's the other thing. That's one of the things that people say are what's plaguing the millennials these days. The fact that they don't have a thick skin. Like we're spending so much time trying to protect them that we're not investing in the time in making them strong. Yeah. And as a quote that I read somewhere, and it said, we expect, how'd it go? We expect our kids to make decisions in the real world when the day before they had to raise their hands to use the bathroom. And it's a real quote. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you expect these people to just be thick-skinned and know how to be an adult, and it just doesn't work that way. We're spending so much time in these schools and in the world, like, and at home, sheltering these kids they don't know how to deal with emotional issues. That's what I'm saying. They don't know. We're coddling them. Well, not we, because I'm not that type of person. But these kids are being coddled so much, and then you put them in the real world the next day, and they're supposed to immediately know how to turn on that switch and deal with it. And this is another case of that. These kids, he should have been able to know how to not necessarily take a joke, but deal with that emotion a little bit differently and process a death of a loved one in a different way. And I don't want to judge how people grieve, but I don't know personally anyone who would have seen this and that would have been their first thing. You might have broken down, you might have yelled, you might have screamed, reach out to someone, freak out. But I don't know that would be their first reaction. But my generation is a little bit of a thicker skin. We dealt with things differently, and you're faced with things so that way it does make your skin a little bit thicker. And something's got to give.
No, Rich, so I was in middle school. So I must have been in like the 7th grade, and maybe that might be around the same age.
Yeah,
I may be close to the same age. But I remember being in the 7th grade, and there was a girl at my school who didn't have a whole lot of friends or whatever. People made fun of her a lot. And, I'm sort of famous throughout my life for friending people that nobody else wanted to be friends with. And I tried to at a certain point, and then she got, like, crazy with it. And then at one point, she started sending me pictures of, like a bloody knife and stuff. Like, she basically threatened, like, if I wasn't her friend, she was going to kill herself. And she gave me a date and everything. Like, I'm going to kill myself on this day. Not only did I not go to anyone, like now that I think about it, like, nigga, you really fucked up. This could have gone way, way bad for you. Not only did I not tell anyone about this, but no, I did not give in to her demands of friendship. And I kind of came to school that next day like, is she here? But of course she didn't kill herself. But I don't know, like, the whole situation bothers me, but the fact that they are vilifying this 13-year-old, who I'm not excusing her actions, like, faking your death or whatever. But to me, it's a 13-year-old thing. Like, it's something a 13-year-old wouldn't understand, how somebody else is going, or even have the mental capacity to be empathetic enough to think, to be able to put themselves in somebody else's shoes and say, how is this person going to react to this kind of news? I don't think my wife always has enough empathy to understand how something she says and something she does affects me, So a 13-year-old, of course she didn't. I don't think she should have done what she did, but she in no way understood what she was doing. And you're going to try to, give her criminal charges on this? I mean, if all you're trying to do is charge her to scare her, to make her understand the gravity of it, I get it. But if y'all trying to send her like to a juvenile facility or something, because of this, would it have been here's my question, Rich. Would it have been a crime if he didn't kill himself? Is it still a crime?
I don't think so.
Or is it just a teenage prank?
It would have been a prank. It becomes a crime because now death is involved.
Right. So now she's liable for his actions. She's liable for his emotional state.
Because I can argue it either way. So like, if you try to steal a car, you go to the car and your intent is to steal the car, but you can't get in the door. Do you get charged for attempting to steal a car, or do you get charged for stealing a car?
But that's attempting to commit, like, your objective was to try. Your objective was to try to steal that car. What was she trying to do? I think she might have just been trying to break up with dude.
Well, she succeeded in breaking his heart.
All right, it's not funny at all, people, but
it's just fucked up.
It's fucked up.
It's one of those things.
All right, let's move on. Let's catch up with something else. Do we have anything? Anything less? Where somebody doesn't die in his next one?
No. Okay. So the man on a United Airlines flight.
He ain't died, but he got fucked.
So I watched the video, and I watched the video several times, and I saw the one video where it compiled all of the different angles that everybody streamed together. And I was watching it, and you can see as they're dragging him, and his leg is stuck under like the arm of the plane. I was like, y'all about to break his leg. So then like hitting him and like picking him up, and then his whole shit was fucked up. Like for a seat. A seat.
Sorry. So here's my thing. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the road less traveled. I'm gonna take the asshole road. And maybe this is just me because I grew up black. I grew up in a black household, and I think we are taught not so much a respect, but maybe a flat out fear of authority, and so we don't buck system. And well, I won't say that because I'm pretty sure somebody gonna pull up like a million video clips of some black kid yelling at a police officer or something. But the way I was brought up is that I have a natural fear / respect of authority, and regardless of whether I think I'm in the right, because I understand one important concept, and I've tried to make this clear several times. More times than not, the majority of times, there are very few times where the other is true, but more times than not, being right is not good enough.
Yep.
The fact that you are in the right, or you feel like you're in the right, does not win you any motherfucking arguments. It doesn't constitute a win. So even if I feel like I'm right, but an authority figure is telling me to do something, even if I feel like I shouldn't have to do it, I'm going to comply. I'm going to comply. Why? Because I want to stay safe. Because I don't know. I don't feel like I can necessarily win that battle. I'd rather lose the battle and then try to win the war. I want to live to fight another day. So if you on an American Airlines flight, United Airlines. Let me not put that on anybody else.
A sidebar before you finish. I'm the same way, so I don't think I would have even let it to get to that level. That's number one. Number two, with all of the consolation prizes that I was getting, I probably would have accepted it by that point.
Yeah.
They gave people $1,000, a hotel stay, and booked them onto another flight, probably upgraded for like the next flight going out.
Yeah.
I probably would have taken the $1,000, free hotel stay, and upgraded next flight. Yeah. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know what it was that he had to.
He said he had to be home because he had surgery to perform on Monday.
And I understand. I understand the gravity of that. But at a point, there was a point. I believe this to be true. I wasn't there, but I believe there was a point in which you can see you're not going to win. They are going to drag you off of this plane.
See, and that's the turning point. At the point where it turns from, I am no longer asking you, I am telling you, and security came up, police came on, shit is about to get real. Yeah.
Walk off the plane mad.
I'd have been mad than a motherfucker. Off the plane. And I don't care who it is, everybody talking about, they would have beat their asses. You wasn't about to sit there and hit that cop.
Not on no plane.
No.
Not on no plane. They not playing on these planes.
You know how easy it is to slap somebody with a terrorism charge?
Yeah, exactly.
In today's climate?
You want to know how easy it is? Go to an airport and say bomb. Say bomb. Just go to an airport.
You can't say it on a block.
Hey, that shit was the bomb. See what the fuck happened to you.
So I don't think that me personally, I could have done some shit like that. Not on no motherfucking airplane. I'm not trying to hit a cop in general. I'm the wrong color to be hitting cops, unless it's like life or death and they're point blank attacking. Unless you're actively defending yourself and you feel like legit threat for your life and your family's life, and you're going down. Yeah. If we're standing here having a conversation, and it couldn't have been me. Yeah. It couldn't have been me.
Now on the flip side, like you said, do I agree with the way they drug him off? But how many different ways are there to drag somebody off a plane? If somebody's refusing to get up, and you have to get them off the plane, so now my job is not to understand why you don't want to give up your seat. My job is not to help you feel better about giving up your seat. We've made those attempts. My job now is to get you off of this plane. But how many different ways are there to drag someone off a plane who doesn't want to get off a plane? It's a narrow little corridor.
It's only one. You do it.
It's not easy. You just do it. And so I feel sorry for the dude that he ended up with those kind of injuries. But
what was crazy?
It didn't have to happen.
No, and after they did it, he was all bloody and beat and messed up and stuff like that.
The first time something would have hit me, I'd be like, all right, I'll walk off the plane. Something hit me in the face. My lip is bleeding. We're not gonna continue to drag me while my lip bleeding. Mm-hmm. Let me get up.
First of all, my leg, I can't. You're telling me to get up. You're trying to pull me up. I can't get up. I don't know if you see this or not. I'm literally stuck in this motherfucking seat.
Yeah.
The armrest is what's keeping me in here. I don't want you to break my leg. Let me just shift it a little bit. But and after that, so I was reading the apology that United Airlines submitted, and they said, yeah, the guy, he was on a plane and he was yelling and he was belligerent. First of all, before he left, we all saw the footage. He wasn't yelling. Nothing was happening until he was physically accosted. That's number one. Number two, he somehow evades them and runs back on the plane. And he's like, kill me, just kill me, kill me. Did you see that part?
I didn't see that part.
So he runs back on the plane and he's like, I gotta go home. And he's like, he's bruised and he's bleeding. And he's like clutching the curtain in the aisle. And he's like, kill me, kill me, kill me. And Renee is like, I'm watching her. She's like, why is he saying kill himself? I was like, well, that's their culture. He probably, at this point, feels like publicly ashamed for his family. He's like, fuck it, kill me. Like, what else you gonna do? You beat me in public. You're trying to face my name. Like, fuck it, take me out. Like, for certain people, like, that's what they have. Like, their honor and their humility. And he felt ashamed. And he's like, kill me. First of all, how the fuck did he get past them to run back on the plane? I have no idea. But he's sitting there yelling, kill me, kill me. And then, as I mentioned that to say, and the original note from United Airlines, it wasn't an apology. They said we had to do what he had to do because he was being belligerent. He was belligerent after you kicked his ass. What do you expect somebody to do after you whipped their ass?
I'm just saying, like you said, once it's flipped from, sir, we would like you to exit the plane, to, sir,
shit got real.
You have to exit the plane. We're going to take you off of this plane one way or another. Like, that's once it went from being a request to a demand, you have to submit to authority. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. You can win later. You can fight the battle in court. You can fight the battle in public opinion, whatever. I don't know. I'm not into fighting unwinnable fights.
Shit.
I'm not into getting my ass whooped for nothing. Like, hey, if I'm gonna get my ass whooped, let it be for something legitimate.
He got fucked up, and then he went home and he was like, I should have took that $1,000. But he has a lawsuit out now, so. And
that's a shame. Like, you can sue people for. I'm with the airline. Like, I know that's not the popular opinion, but I think they exhausted every avenue they had in terms of offering people stuff and trying to find someone to volunteer to get off this plane, and somebody had to get off the plane. It's probably in the fine print somewhere when you buy the ticket that this can happen, and when it happens, this is what we're gonna do. You ain't read the fine print because nobody does.
No, but I read somewhere it was like a 51-page, 51 excerpt fine print. So I know
nobody reads it.
That much fine print,
but it's in there somewhere. It's probably in there somewhere. So they was well within their rights to kick you off the motherfucking plane. Like, just go. I'm not gonna buck. I've been kicked out of places that I didn't think I should have got kicked out of. I didn't think I did anything. I didn't think it was lawful. But I'm not going to fight the security guard because I'm going to lose that battle.
It's crazy.
Like, it's certain people that once you touch them, now you've committed a crime.
Yep.
And they can do, and they can retaliate. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's me. So that's how I took that whole situation. Like, I know I don't have the mentality that, and the way I look at it when people do it is entitlement. You believe that if you think you're right, then everybody else should yield to your rightness.
And what's crazy is it didn't matter how much he thought he was right.
He was coming off that plane.
Yeah. It was in there right.
Yeah.
You know how much you think you're right if it's in there right?
Hey, that's what I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you, children, if you're listening, 1, she's not worth suicide. And 2, being right is not enough. It's my PSA for the afternoon.
Crazy.
All right, what we got? I think we still got time to do this.
This last one.
Do this other one. Because I really do want to talk on this since I worked it. So I don't know. You know the story more than I do. I'll let you.
So basically, at the White House, and I don't know all of the sides. I think in March, someone jumped the fence, scaled the fence at the White House onto the property. But I think the east fence he jumped or something like that? I think he scaled the fence on the east side or whatever. So I don't know what the fence is called that's directly facing the front of the White House.
Yeah.
But they've over the last couple of months, it was against the law to I guess, go walk on that side of the sidewalk at night. In between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., that sidewalk has been off limits for the past couple of months. And now Secret Service has issued a statement saying that that sidewalk, effective immediately, is now off limits at all times. You can no longer walk on that sidewalk. If you want to take a picture, stand in the street. Stand across the street. You can't stand on the sidewalk near the White House. Period.
Did they mention the park that's right across the street? Like, you probably can't be in that park either. But, all right. So I worked there for 2 years during the Bush administration. And during the Bush administration, there was like a shit ton of protests and stuff outside. There were people that pretty much lived in that park across from the White House and, had their signs in a tent, and they just woke up in the morning and came out the tent, put their sign back up, and continued their protest. Like that's just a way of life. So it always amazed me how close you could get, like, because you can walk directly up to the gate. You can put your hands through the gate, like you can get that close. But that has always been open. I mean, if you work there, that's a lot of times how you get to work. You walk through that area. It's a thoroughfare. Like it's gonna be difficult it's gonna make people have to go way out of their way to get to certain places. Like if you're on one side. If you're over on G Street and you're trying to get to another side of G Street, you're going to have to do some special maneuvering to get around the White House now. But I feel like, I feel like the person in the office is the reason that they have to do it now. There is that much disdain for this man. Like, when Obama was in office, they didn't have to close that. And, and people weren't happy about Obama. They were protesting. The same protests had always been out there. When Bush was in office, they didn't have to close it. And, and people weren't happy about Bush, and there was plenty of protests and things going on. I'd come out, and people would be like, you work for that fascist, and don't let them shoot you in the face. I mean, there would be people waiting for me when I came outside of work. But they never had to close that sidewalk. This shows you how much disdain there is for this individual, that they have to close that sidewalk. That sidewalk has been open to the public.
A public sidewalk at that.
Yeah, and even the public that couldn't stand the president and stood out there, and their only reason for being out there was to yell at the fence. But is did it come from him? Is he like, I'm tired of looking outside and seeing an angry mob, or what? I don't know. I've never known that they would close that sidewalk from time to time if there was like a dignitary or something in the area, or there was going to be a lot of traffic back and forth, because the residences across the street from the White House are where like dignitaries and stuff stay when they come to visit. So if there was going to be a lot of movement back and forth across their street, they close the sidewalk off. Or if somebody was driving in, they close that sidewalk off. But to just like blanket across the board, you can't come over here no more. Like,
that's crazy.
Either there was some people trying to do some serious things, or it's a lot of ego tripping going on.
Yep. North fence, south fence. There's no more. You can't go. Don't even attempt it. That's pretty crazy. That's honestly.
Obama was in office 8 years, and that sidewalk didn't close.
Whole sidewalk, go around. Just go around. That's
a long way.
It's a long way to go around.
Yeah.
That's fucked. You can't go down that sidewalk. That's just crazy.
I wonder about the park, because there's a park directly across. Also, like, can nobody stand in that park?
And then the release says it will lessen the possibilities of individuals illegally accessing the White House grounds. And they're saying stem back to that man who scaled the fence back in March, and he was on the property's grounds for 16 minutes before being detained. So,
and that's another one.
And then they said President Trump was inside of the White House at the time of that March 10th incident. So,
and that's the stuff that like surprises me, because from what I knew from being there, like, people are watching the fucking fence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't get over the fence.
Aren't there cameras on the fence? There's guards on the fence.
There's people
fucking spikes on the fence.
People ready to take you out.
That's the part that I don't understand. From everything I've seen, and you've been there personally, for everything I've seen, so everything you tell me just corroborates it. How do you even make it that close to? Nobody saw you scaling this fence. Nobody was around this fucking fence.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's not like the view was. It's not like there's an obstructed view. A fence that spans the front of the fucking White House. Nobody saw you climb a fence in front of the White House.
I think I've told you the story where I had a guard apologize for not shooting me because I went someplace I wasn't supposed to go. So it's not like when you cross a line, it's not like they have to say stop. they can just shoot you. So how somebody gets over the fence and spends 16 minutes on the other side of the fence, you know.
That's what makes it seem like this shit is like fake or setups or who the White House is one of the most protected places
in the world.
What the fuck? I can't fathom
that. To me, why you could let that sidewalk be open, because as close as you could get, there was a limit. You know, like you can get this close, but try to get closer and see what happens to you. It never was an issue for anybody because the fence is being watched. I can let you walk right up to the fence because I know if you go over top of that fence, I got you. You know, so why it needs to be closed to me either means there's somebody that keeps looking out the window and like, oh, they don't like me, or
exactly something else is going on there.
So I don't know.
They're trying to keep people further back. I don't know. It's just weird.
It's just weird. It's weird. But that's the world we live in. We got sensitive presidents. I don't want to keep calling that 11-year-old sensitive, but she's not worth it. She's not. 11-year-olds right now, there is no relationship that you're going to be in right now that's going to last the rest of your life. At best, a relationship that you're in today may last 3 months from today. But nobody you meet right now, no matter how in love you think you are, I can guarantee that you are not going to be with that person 20 years from now, 10 years from now.
Unless you're happily married. Tammy, don't listen to him.
Now, I'm talking about an 11-year-old.
Oh, got it. I thought you were talking about people in general.
No, at 11,
yeah,
no relationship you're going to be in is going to last that long.
I don't even...
So there's no reason to think...
Outside of family, and if that, I don't even... Do I know anybody I know at 11? That's a long-ass time.
I know them on Facebook.
Yeah,
I ain't seen them.
You're not active like friends, and...
Your 11-year-old life is really only your 11-year. When you're 12, you probably have a whole new life, you know. Again, so there's nothing going on.
That's the beauty of childhood. You're going to reinvent yourself every time anyway.
A million times. So there's nothing going on at 11 that is worth not experiencing the rest of life. There is so much more time. There is so much more time. You know, I am 35, which means I lived 24 years past 11. I lived 11 3 times already. There's so much more life.
It was crazy. I don't
to 11. So there's nothing possibly that can be going on right now at 11 that is worth not experiencing the rest of what life has to offer you. So please, no matter what's happening, no matter who passes away, no matter who you lose, no matter who steps out of your life, you know, find a reason to want to see the rest of it, because we want to see you here. So, unless you got anything to add, we wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. As usual, ttcharities.org, doing big things. I know the focus right now is Flint, Michigan, and the water crisis. As of the taping of this episode, they are in Michigan right now, working with the people there to get water to the residents of Flint, Michigan. The battle is not over, so let's continue to support TT Charities in that cause and every other cause that they support. ttcharities.org. Hit the website, donate time, money, clothes, food, books, whatever it is they need. If it's nothing but a retweet, a repost, telling a friend, everything helps. So let's take care of our own, be our brother's keeper, and support in any way that you can. CelebrityHairCorp.com. All your hair care needs, make you look like the celebrity that you are. I think I came close to it. Yeah. I got close.
Yeah, and their claim to fame is no tax and free shipping.
No tax.
I don't know how that works out.
Free shipping.
Because don't you got to get the government their cut?
There was a loophole.
Is it fabricated into the price or something? I don't know.
There was a loophole, and Amazon was exploiting that loophole.
Yeah, but even Amazon is caught now. They charging tax for everything, so I don't know.
Hey, man.
I don't know how it works. Listen.
Hey, we got the hookup. Listen. If you try and get that tax-free.
No tax and free shipping on all your hair ladies.
If you try and get that tax-free, holla at your boy. CelebrityHairCorp.com. So with that being said, thank you all for listening. Love everybody.
Be the light.
Be the light, and peace.